right, it's Friday, April 28th. This is an end of the day and end of the week and also an end of the month SPY recap. And today you can see we end up with another two up big green bar. This was not surprising at all. Yesterday we discussed how the whole picture changed back to the upside, so you should have just been ready to trade to the upside today. If you look at just the chart itself, the pre-market range, that's what you want to see with these big green bars from the day before. A little bit of a pullback to start the session, knowing good chance you're going to take out the high of the previous day at a minimum. And in this case, we had targets above, which I'll get into. So the very first bar went up, past the pre-market highs, blue lines, which was right here. And then you bought on bar number two if you wanted to be aggressive. If not, you had a secondary buy right here to take out the intraday high of the day, and we actually had a third push up as well. So big green day. The reason it continues up is because there are targets. But first of all, yesterday on the big reversal, for a while we had a 2 down week going, but we changed that yesterday. Once you kind of take out the low of the previous week, then get back to the midpoint of that week, the odds are you're going to take out the high, and we just got there by the end of the day. So it was kind of fulfilling its goal on the daily chart to kind of take out the weekly high, and that's where it closed. I guess that's why you got that third push up, but that's just so on the weekly chart now, you do have a 3 bar. It's a momentum looking hammer bar that likely is going to go higher because we have targets very close, but it is broadening action, so it is possible that this could be the start of lower lows, higher highs, and reversing. But I don't think we're there yet for a number of reasons. So you're probably going to get a 3-2 continuation of some kind. You're definitely expecting higher, and if you just look at the chart here, you have these 2-3 pivots right in the row, so it's likely going to take all that out. That's that green line we've been monitoring. If you go to the monthly chart, you can see here now this month officially ends with a green looking bar, so you kind of expect at least follow through before it possibly reverses. We're going to look for, on the monthly chart, we're going to look for any up move that fails. We'll have to come back through the midpoint of that bar. We'll be monitoring that starting on Monday, what the opening price is. Do we stay green above that, or do we start going red below that on certain days? Do we get to the halfway point of the prior month? Same thing on the weekly chart. We're going to see if we get any kind of weekly, the only way it's going to turn down, just like we started to do this week, would be to get some kind of 2 up, 2 down reversal, or some kind of 2 up that goes back to the midpoint of that bar. So there could be a reversal that happens, but I don't think it's likely at the moment. I think we're going to be heading higher first of these targets, 418, and then if you look, you see this target up here. If we go, it's time now kind of just to look quickly at the end of the month. Oops, let me get that at the quarterly chart. Clicking on that here, the quarterly chart, and you can see the quarterly chart, with 2 months to go now, it's green and heading up. For the second, we still have the 2 months to go in this bar, and we're kind of grinding our way into this big red bar, and you can see as we work up, there is a target up here in that 430 area. So it looks like the type of price action that at some point, if it just can't really build some big green, could roll over to the downside into the summer months and everything. So keep that in mind. But we're gonna again have to see the monthly chart get red. Let's get back to that. We'll see what the open is on Monday, and then anything, that'll be a key line to monitor. Are we green or red on the month? And we're going to have to get through the mid. If we start up, which I anticipate, we're going to have to get through the midpoint of that month to get down. We'll look for weekly reversals, but until then, just up, up, up. And now, I'd say we kind of likely, even though we have a little exhaustion risk on, 2 days in a row up, I still think we're probably heading up here. If you look at just spreading out this little broadening, diagram, the lower lows and the higher highs, we do project up here to that 430 area, which is kind of, if you look back on the daily chart, we got this first high here and then the second high. So don't be surprised if we kind of get up there, in some form. It might not be every day, but until the weekly chart reverses, we'll continue to kind of expect that. So let's see, how things start into the month of May, and anticipating higher. Anything can change though, as we saw, 2 days ago. It just boom. We had an opportunity to really fail, and that changed the whole picture 2 days ago. And that's why today was a pretty high probability day to the upside, especially given the opening price action here. So good trading on the upside today, expectations higher, and we will see how the next month starts, starting on Monday.